Hey, congratulations on making it past round 1. Now we are on round 2 where we're going to start making the actual moon part of the coaster, and we're going to be learning a couple skills in this video. The first one's going to be changing colors, and the second one is going to be treble crochet. What I want you to do before we jump into the video is read the note on the instructions about changing colors. What you'll notice is it says when joining a new color, work to the last yarn over, pick up the new color and complete the stitch. So what that means is the stitch before you start the next color, you're gonna work that last yarn over in the new color. And I will explain what that means, but just remember that. And then the second skill we're going to learn is treble crochet, and there is also a written explanation on the print instructions. And then just as another reference, on the visual diagram of the stitches, the treble crochet is noted as the yellow kind of T-bar with the 2 dashes through it. Okay, so let's get started. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. Okay, here I've done the chain 1, which does not count as the first stitch, and then I will be working 2 single crochet into each of the next 5 stitches for a total of 10. When you get to the 10th stitch, if you are also looking at the written instructions, it says switch to yellow. So remember what I said earlier about changing colors. When we get to the 10th stitch, we're not going to finish it all the way. I'm going to pause and show you guys in slow motion how to add in the yellow. So here I'm working my 9th stitch. We're almost to the yellow. And now we are at the 10th stitch, and I'm doing this super slow-mo so you can see. We're going to work it like a normal single crochet, inserting the hook into my chain space, wrapping and pulling that wrap through, and then we're going to pause here and snip the yarn, because this is where we're going to do the yarn over and add in the yellow. So here I'm going to snip my yarn, leaving myself about 4 inches, which gives me just enough yarn to weave the ends back in. And then I'm going to pick up my yellow yarn, again giving myself a little bit of a tail so that I have some length to weave in, and I'm going to do my yarn over. Also take note of how I'm using my thumb and forefinger to give myself some tension on the yarn, and I'm going to pull that yellow wrap through and finish off that 10th crochet stitch. And now that I'm on the yellow, the pattern calls for me to do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So here I'm working the 2 single crochet into the same chain space. And then I'm going to work 2 half double crochets into the next chain space. And now I am starting the 2 double crochet into the next chain space. Okay, doing this in super slow motion, starting on the treble crochet, we wrap the yarn around the hook twice before inserting it into the chain space. After inserting it into the chain space, wrap again and pull through the first loop on the hook. Wrap again, and then pull your hook through the first 2 loops on the hook. Wrap for a second time. Pull through the next 2 loops on the hook. Notice how I'm rotating my hook downwards in order to prevent the hook from splitting the yarn as I'm pulling my hook through. And then wrap for a third time and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. Another thing to notice is how I'm using my thumb and middle finger to pinch the crochet so that I can exert some downward tension and help open up the loops on the hook, which makes it a little bit easier for me to pull my hook through. And now I'm going to start on my second treble crochet. Remember, wrapping twice before you enter into the chain space. Wrapping, pulling through the first loop, wrapping again, then pulling through the first 2, wrap, pull through the second 2, wrap, and pull through the last 2. You'll notice we did that 3 times, and that is why it is called treble crochet. Now I'm going to step back down in height. I'm working my double crochet. This time we pull through 2 sets of wraps twice, which you'll now see that's why we call that double crochet. And then now I'm doing the half double crochet, 2 of them. And then now we're going to work 2 more single crochets into the next chain space. And then our last stitch is going to be a slip stitch to join the end of the round to the beginning of the round, and then also switch back to blue. So now I'm working my next to last single crochet. And now I'm on my last single crochet. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch to join the end of the round to the beginning of the round. When I do this slip stitch, I'm not going to finish it with a yellow. I'm going to get my hook into the chain space, and then I'm going to snip my yarn and then go to round 3, where we're going to start with the blue.